ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। His Grace Madhu Pandit Prabhu, Chairman of the Hare Krishna Movement Group of Temples and Chairman of the Akshay Patra Foundation. His Grace Jai Chaitanya Prabhu, who is co-president of Hare Krishna Movement Chennai and the Temple President of Hare Krishna Movement Mysore. His Grace Janardhan Prabhu, who is the President of Hare Krishna Movement Guwahati. Shri R. Rajgopal, Chief Secretary to the Governor. Shri Ananta Padmanabhacharya, Shri Vaishnavite scholar, devotees of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the Krishna Consciousness Movement, Hare Krishna Movement, ISKCON Movement, introduced this wonderful Ratha Yatra festival for the first time outside the shores of this country in San Francisco in 1967. The first Jagannath Ratha Yatra in the Western world, in America. Srila Prabhupada is bringing the tradition of Krishna Bhakti as taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, who is appearing as a devotee in order to teach the most effective method of Krishna Bhakti through chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It was Lord Chaitanya who revealed the meaning and significance of the Ratha Yatra festival that is held every year since thousands of years in Jagannath Puri. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after accepting sannyas, he resided in Jagannath Puri and he was participating in the annual Ratha Yatra festival of Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri for 18 years. So what is the significance of this Ratha Yatra festival? Jagannath Puri has been having this Ratha Yatra festival since thousands of years. It's the oldest Ratha Yatra festival that has been ever held. So, lakhs of devotees gather for this Ratha Yatra festival and they participate in this wonderful festival, which Srila Prabhupada calls it the festival of joy. So, the occasion is described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Krishna, when he left Vrindavan and went to Mathura and later on to Dwaraka, so the residents of Vrindavan, they were feeling intense separation from Krishna. So, the residents of Vrindavan are all devotees of Krishna, but their devotion is spontaneous devotion without any conditions, without any reverential feelings. Rather, it is simply out of love for Krishna that all the residents of Vrindavan, including the cows, the bees, the birds, the peacocks, all the living beings in Vrindavan are devotees of Krishna, and they have spontaneous devotion to Krishna. So, when Krishna left Vrindavan, Krishna told the residents of Vrindavan, I am going to return within a few days after finishing some very important business. But Krishna never returned to Vrindavan. So why did Krishna not return to Vrindavan? It is to help us understand what is the kind of devotion that the residents of Vrindavan have for Krishna. Generally, it is observed that in this world, if somebody feels separation from a beloved, near and dear one, then they may feel the separation for some time. But after some time, they learn to adjust and live without the person whom they love. But here, we can see the residents of Vrindavan never forgot Krishna even for one moment. In fact, all their life, they were simply feeling the absence of Krishna, the separation from Krishna so intensely, especially the gopis, the topmost devotees of Krishna, they were constantly crying and crying and crying and crying and crying. They don't want to leave Vrindavan because Vrindavan is where they actually worship Krishna by remembering his transcendental pastimes which he performed in all the 12 forests of Vrindavan. So they cannot leave Vrindavan. At the same time, they cannot live in Vrindavan without Krishna. So simply by trying to remember the pastimes of Krishna and always thinking of Krishna, they teach us how we can actually worship Krishna in separation from Krishna. That is the highest level of devotional service that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us. So Lord Jagannath, who normally resides in an opulent temple called the Sri Mandir in Jagannath Puri, Nilachala Dhama, he travels during the Ratha Yatra festival. He is taken from the Sri Mandir to another temple called the Gundicha Mandir, which is just about 3 kilometers away. So, the Sri Mandir, the main temple full of opulence, represents Dwaraka, where Krishna resides after he left Vrindavan. And the Gundicha temple, where Jagannath travels by Ratha, represents Vrindavan. The setting of Gundicha temple is amidst nice groves and lot of trees. It's like a village setting that is there in Vrindavan. For the ordinary person, there appears to be not much of any opulence in this Vrindavan. But actually, the scriptures reveal Vrindavan is much more opulent than Vaikuntha or than the Dwaraka. So, this confidential knowledge is taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna, actually, he feels himself also the separation from the devotees of Vrindavan. Therefore, Krishna, he cannot remain away from the residents of Vrindavan. So, he travels on the pretext of this Ratha Yatra. Lord Jagannath goes from Dwaraka to Vrindavan to actually meet his devotees in Vrindavan. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to perform Sankirtana, chanting and dancing in front of the Ratha of Lord Jagannath. And his chanting and dancing was so wonderful, so ecstatic, that not only all the people who had assembled for that Ratha Yatra were amazed to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's very sweet voice. He was singing the Hare Krishna mantra, Sankirtana, and he was also dancing very ecstatically in front of the Ratha of Lord Jagannath. Not only the people were amazed to see this wonderful ecstatic dancing, but also Lord Jagannath himself, he would be amazed to see the dancing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So much so that Jagannath would stop the Ratha and simply watch in amazement the dancing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually is teaching us that simply by chanting and dancing during this Sankirtana, especially in front of Krishna, that is the way to worship Krishna, the easiest method of worshipping Krishna, and that is the easiest way of awakening our dormant devotion to Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us that all of us have got Krishna Bhakti within our heart, but right now it is covered by some misconception about our own self, as some material misconception. All this can be cleared very easily by the most powerful Hare Krishna mantra, which is also described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the incarnation of Krishna in this age. So this Ratha Yatra festival represents that actually devotion which the residents of Vrindavan have for Krishna, which is very spontaneous. And Krishna himself, the residents of Vrindavan, they feel the separation from Krishna, and Krishna satisfies them by going to Vrindavan every year by traveling in this Ratha Yatra from the main temple to the Gundicha temple, and after 1 week Jagannath returns to his main temple. So this Ratha Yatra festival represents that loving exchange between, that loving devotion that the devotees of Vrindavan have for Krishna and Krishna has for the devotees of Vrindavan. So with these few words, I'll stop here. Thank you. Hare Krishna.